Julie Saturnus. I'm a college lecturer at Cleveland State University. It's nice to be interacting with you. Hopefully my voice isn't going to be too distracting. My throat is very, very sore. Okay, in this video, we're going to go over what's included in the annotated bibliography. And I sort of modified this PowerPoint. This isn't one that I made, but because the annotated bibliography is something that is so standard, I just went ahead and modified this PowerPoint to make sure it had all the information in it that I wanted to talk about. If you want to look at the website that I'm using, if you follow this link here, and it will take you to the Purdue OWL website here, the annotated bibliography samples. It's got an overview. So let's just go ahead and read this together. The Purdue OWL's a good website, and this is just a tip for if you need help with anything in, citation-wise or works cited-wise. For the paper format, APA paper format, MLA paper format, what I'd recommend is you type in Purdue OWL, Purdue, and then OWL, and then whatever your topic is, and you'll find it. So, all right, here we go. Annotated bibliography samples overview. Below you'll find sample annotations from annotated bibliographies, each with a different research project. Remember that the annotations you include in your bibliography should reflect your research project and/or guidelines of your assignment, which we will go over. As mentioned elsewhere in this resource, depending on the purpose of your bibliography, some annotations may summarize, some may assess or evaluate a source, and some may reflect on the source's possible uses for the project at hand. We'll do all three of those. Some annotations may address all three of these steps. Consider the purpose of your annotated bibliography and/or your instructor's directions when deciding how much information to include in your annotations. Please keep in mind that all your text, including the write-up beneath the citation, must be indented so that the author's last name is the only text that is flush left. The author's name is the only text that is flush left. So you can see this here. So in Microsoft Word, how you'll do this, so this is called a hanging indent here. You'll put your cursor here. Let's pretend it was still over here. You'll hit return or enter and then tab. And so that enter and return is going to let you break the format so that you can tab it inwards and have it in like this. This is what it looks like for MLA citation. And you can get this generated if you go here and you type in the category. So let's type in that same book. Here's the same book. Now if you go here to this citation, the little quotation mark here, and you click it, if you're doing APA, you copy and paste this and put it in your annotated bibliography. And if you're doing MLA, you copy and paste this. Now sometimes it will have missing information. So again, if it looks like too short or if it looks like some information's missing, go look at the actual book. Look at the first couple pages that has the publisher information, the year it was published, all that, and then put it in the correct order. And if you don't know the correct order, again, you can look that up on the Purdue OWL website. Okay, let's continue on then. So an annotated bibliography combines the bibliographic reference with an annotation. And the annotation is that little paragraph indented in there on the side. So annotations can be just a couple of sentences or multiple paragraphs. So I'm assigning that the annotation should be no more than 100 words, but at least 75. So 75 to 100 words. Useful outside of the annotated bibliography assignment. So prospectus and annotated bibliography assignment, it's not a project in its own. You're using it so that you can use it for Essay 4, so that you can make Essay 4 better. So all of this is working towards your final research project. So it helps organize research, references, and ideas before writing a paper. The annotation is useful for any text, so you can do journal articles, book chapters, books. can be a summary and or analysis of a text. They can serve the following functions: summarize the source, evaluate the source, write a reflection. So you will be required to write a summary, analysis, and reflection. So it's kind of like, if you remember from 100 or 101 at Cleveland State, the summary assignment, and then if you remember the rhetorical analysis assignment, and then also kind of the synthesis. It's like mixing all of those three things into one and then adding a short reflection on top of it. So, and this is all very condensed because you've only got up to 100 words for each one. Okay, for the summarize, here are some points that you can make sure to address. What is the source about? What arguments is the author making? Explain the source in your own words. And summary allows you to think about the source in your own way. For the next one, analysis. When we analyze, we are thinking about how useful the source is. What does the source mean for your topic? Does it fit in with other items you are annotating or with your research idea? Is the source useful? Does the author appear credible? And for the part where it's useful or not, so the assignment sheet asks that for the prospectus and annotated bibliography, it requires that you do 6 scholarly sources, and at least 6 scholarly sources. All 12 of your sources can certainly be book chapters, articles, and things from Google Scholar, but only 6 have to be. So you could get your other sources from things like surveys that you send out to your classmates. You could get those from interviews that you do with people. You could do it from like your screen time log. Those can be cited in your annotated bibliography, or it could be something like a reputable website is posting information that you find useful. But anyways, at the end, at essay 4, you only have to incorporate 10 of those sources, 5 scholarly sources, at least five scholarly sources. So you do not have to, so there might be some sources where you say, this source is not useful and I don't plan on using it at the end. And don't write about too many sources like that. Hopefully you make that judgment before you start writing about them. But there'll be 2 sources that you don't have to use for essay 4. Okay, the reflection. Think about what the source means to you and your research. Was the source useful for you? Did it expand your understanding of your topic? How can you use this source in your project? And here's the reflection continued. What are the main points of the source? Are the arguments and evidence in the source weak or strong? Does it provide supporting data? Does it suggest solutions or improvements? If a policy, does it mention a specific bill? Does it provide or address any policy analysis criteria? Okay, and a bibliography is another word for your reference page. It lists all the sources you cite in a research project and includes only bibliographic information: author, title, publisher, year, page range. The annotated bibliography can help you create your reference page for research projects. So, like I said, it's the same citation that you use for MLA and APA that you use for your annotated bibliography. So just review, you go to Google Scholar and you type in the name of the book or article that you're using. You go to these quotation marks here and it should generate something that's pretty accurate. And then you can copy and paste those. So you can copy, again, using this for essay 4. You will not include the entire annotated bibliography in essay 4, but you can copy and paste these parts, the actual bibliography, the author information. You can just copy and paste that right into your final essay. Okay, and short annotations. I mean, this is kind of what we're doing. We've only got 100 words. So provide a brief summary, are good for broad overview. They're good for practice, concise writing, are especially useful for keeping track of sources in your own research. You get the major points. Highlight the useful and how it's useful and how it relates to other sources in your topic and how it also relates to your research topic. Okay, thanks. Well, I'll be excited to read your annotated bibliographies, and there's more information on where to put those and what activity to do with those listed on the Blackboard. Okay, thanks.